Let's do it. All right. So I think now's a good time to talk about different signings. Transfer window is still open. Teams are making changes. Things are getting intense.
Hmm.
And as United fans, we must prioritize the United dream. So Isaac, talk to me. How do you feel about the signings we've made, the ins and outs this window so far? And there any you're looking forward to?
Um. Okay. So I mean, I called the lit.
You
Uh.
did. He called the lid. I think this is the point in the video where we should like put up that tweet you made.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
did
no, he
call the
called,
lit.
he called the lid. Yep, yep, yep,
Yeah, I
yep.
did call the lit. And also I kind of want to like talk about like how I was thinking about the lit signing. I mean, why I
Mm-hmm,
think we should go for him. I mean, first of all, he was developed by Erik Ten Hag. At
mm-hmm,
Ajax, this guy was going to be like one of the best. He was one of the best young defenders on the planet.
mm-hmm.
He moved. He went to, Juve. It didn't quite work well how much we hoped. I mean, per the standards we expected him to hit. Move to
Mhm,
Bayern. There's a myth out there that Bayern he was like not playing and stuff. Like the guy was playing. The times he didn't play, it was just some injuries and stuff. So
yeah,
let's not
that's
make it
pretty
look like exactly. And
mhm,
sometimes we also need to understand that when players are so young and they move to big clubs like that, it takes a while. I mean, Vinicius Junior struggled for like his first two
mhm,
three seasons at Real Madrid. It takes a while to
mhm,
kind of become that kind of mature player, right? So I always
yeah,
just felt like Delete is that guy for Manchester United. He's also at the right age. He just turned 25. Like we're getting
mhm,
prime Delete, right? He's coming in
mhm,
with his experience from Juventus, with his experience from Bayern, so he knows how
mhm,
it feels to, to be at a big club. So I think Delete is our statement sign in this window, right? He goes straight into the team
mhm,
for me. He should
mhm.
start ahead of Maguire even against Brighton. I know people are debating whether he should or he should. Maguire
You
should be
should
coming
stop.
off the bench. There's nothing wrong
Fact.
with that. It's good to have that depth. Maguire performed
Mhm,
well, but the late is just gonna move us up another level. We can finally
mhm,
play a very high line. Because one on
mhm,
one he's very very strong.
yeah,
He's actually quicker
mhm,
than he looks. That
yeah,
guy.
he's sick.
So for me that
Mm,
one was like a statement sign, and to kind of combine that with getting the right back too, also
bro,
from Ajax. I mean, and
bro,
both of them combined fee of like I think 50, 60 million, which was what
yeah,
Everton was asking for just Branthwaite. That's like, you know, good business.
bro,
So shout out
beautiful
Ineos,
business.
man. They're cooking.
They're
And
cooking.
Xerxes, I mean, he's going a little bit under the radar, but I think he'll be a great signing. He's a different profile of, he's like a center forward, not like a strike. He's like a,
Mhm.
9.5 he calls himself. So yeah,
Yeah,
bro. A guy said I'm a 9.5. I'm like, Charlie, come and score goals, so Charlie.
honestly,
But hey, we'll
we,
take it. If he cooks, we'll take it.
mhm,
You
we'll
know.
take it.
So I mean, the signings so far for me are
Mhm.
okay. I mean, Lenny Euro, of course, that's like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's like
a good investment.
that's visionary. I would say.
Mhm,
Getting Lenny
mhm.
Euro when everybody wanted him. They might not
When
admit
we
it.
all wanted him, right?
Real wanted him, all those guys, and we got him.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's a fantastic signing. Like, we literally replaced Varane when we got him. So, that's good.
Mhm,
We have a Maguire replacement in the list. Um,
mhm,
it's good we got Mazwara in. Fantastic
mhm,
signing as well. I mean, his debut was fantastic. I was like, hoping that we get a left back.
mhm,
But Luke Shaw if he stays fit and Malasa if he gets back from injury. At least we have
mhm.
enough cover. I mean, Johnny Evans is still around. Lindelof is still
Yeah.
around, so we have cover.
Mhm,
Should we need it? We need something in the midfield. So I'm expecting the Ugarte deal
mhm.
to happen. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic. Imagine
Mhm,
Ugarte as like starting ahead of like Casemiro if Casemiro is gonna come off the bench.
mhm.
Mason Mount sort of deputizing with Bruno.
Yeah.
That would also be nice. And then McTominay and Ericsson. I don't know. One of them
I
should
think
leave, in my opinion.
yeah.
If we lose Ericsson, even better, because McTominay still has something to give. I feel like, but McTominay, we can
Mhm.
get money for him and maybe sign another midfielder. So hey, so far so good, I would say. You know,
Okay.
but if we
Okay.
get the Ugarte deal done, I feel like that would be like a 9/10 window. That's it. That's what I
Nine
think.
over 10 CC. That's good. I agree with everything you just said. And I think just to give a different perspective, for me, it just demonstrates just the commitment of Ineos to doing things differently.
Yeah.
Because as a club, we shouldn't have this issue where we have such a poor transfer window, such an anticlimactic one that we get results like
Yeah.
Anthony. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that fizzled down to the season. But now our business has been proper, prompt, no hassle. It's been,
Yeah.
bullshit free. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
the type of signing he's doing too, I feel like just speaks a lot to Ineos. I didn't think Ineos could pull this off. I can't lie. I can't lie. I
Yeah, I mean,
can't
they've
lie.
been
I didn't
cooking.
think they would. And it just goes to show a change of ownership is important because
Yeah.
that's the part that's changed. We got new owners, they got a different administrative structure, and now signings are coming in the
Yeah.
way they should, the way top clubs do it. So I'm very proud and happy about that. No, so with that being said, like, what do you think is our ideal starting 11 right now? Given
Mm,
all the signings we have, and let's assume the Ugarte deal works out.
okay.
Who do we put on to face the best?
I mean, I think also assuming that people are fit. Um,
Yeah, assuming people are fit. Let's say people are fit right now, so we may not necessarily consider Holland or
or look
Euro because
sure.
they all look sure because they
Okay.
both have
Okay.
some time to come. So yeah.
I mean, then I feel like the back line picks itself. I mean, Mazrari on the
Mhm.
right, Dalo has to fill in at left back for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, when Luxor is back, Dalo starts for me, and Luxor left back, and then
Hmm.
centre backs has to be the late and the
Hmm.
butcher, the butcher, very
Of course.
necessary, you
Very
know.
necessary.
And then
Very
in
necessary.
midfield, we have
Hmm.
Mainu with Ugarte. I mean, if the
Yeah.
Ugarte deal is done, and then Bruno Fernandes playing as the 10, I don't want to see this Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes false nine
Honestly.
business that is going on. No,
Hmm.
it's okay for Mason Mount to be coming off the bench. It's okay. There's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with it. I might even go as far as to say once we get Ugarte, there'll be enough legs in there to actually go back to trying Mason Mount and Bruno. In that sort
Hmm.
of double 10, double eight thing he was trying to do last season with Casemiro. The
Hmm.
issue with that is, the pitch was just too wide. If your back line can't be high up, you can't narrow the pitch
Hmm.
enough to. So the spaces were just too big. And that's why we felt like maybe Mason Mount couldn't do it or something. But guess what? He took Mason Mount out and we were still conceding those chances. We were still open. So I don't think it was because Mason Mount can't play the position, but it's more
Yeah.
because of the structure and the setup. So if he gets the structure and setup right, we might even be able to see Mason Mount with Bruno and
Hmm.
Ugarte in midfield. And then the front line, I want to keep trusting Rashford just because he has the edge. There's just something a little bit
Hmm.
extra. Even his goal against Manchester City last season. Like it went under
Hmm.
the radar. I'm like, yeah, that's a player that we just need to get right. If we get him right, he will cook.
Facts.
Right.
Facts. Facts.
And then Zexi for me has to start because if you
Yeah.
have Rashford on the left and I would play Ganacho on the right. I know Ahmad
Mm.
has cooked and whatever, but yeah, it's Ganacho.
Um,
Ganacho, I feel like it's just
yeah.
he's
I mean,
scoring,
Galatasaray
he's
is
assisting.
consistent. He's
You know what
putting
I'm
in
saying?
numbers.
Like, yeah, Ahmad would take on players and whatever, but like so far, like when it matters, Ganacho has like turned up. So I feel like Ganacho needs to
Yeah.
continue on the right. So,
Mhm.
Ganacho, Rashford, bombing down the wings, and then Zerski, sort of, drawing players to him, creating spaces for those guys. I think that should be our starting 11.
Facts. Of course,
Yeah, I
with
don't know
Onana at the back.
if you think different. And Onana, yeah, Onana. I
Yeah,
mean,
of
who
course, with
else do
Onana at
we
the back.
have?
I mean, I don't think too differently. I agree with that lineup. I can't say I'm mad at it. I was trying to see if there's any way we could alter it as you were speaking. And honestly speaking, as things stand, I don't think you can make too many changes. Now, if Hoyland comes back, you could make the
Mhm.
argument of Xerxes Hoyland, see who comes in more, depending on
Yeah,
who gives more output. There was point of contention for me. Maybe it was the Mazraoui Shaw Dalot situation, who starts and who doesn't. Now, of course, our entire back four could have been Ajax FC. Yeah, all of whom, all of
true.
whom have played before. It is right.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that adds another layer of chemistry. Of course, they haven't played together for a long time, but
Mm-hmm.
like if we have those back three as is, then like could we then maybe have a better situation? You know what I'm saying? So Mazrari starting instead of Shaw,
Dalo.
maybe yeah,
Oh,
because even like when he played this game, man, he cooked. You know what I'm saying?
true, true.
Yeah, he had a decent game, and you can't take that from him. So I'm trying to see how that would work out when everyone is fit.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
try to see, but it's a good problem to have, bro.
It's
Before
a
we
good
couldn't
problem
talk
to have.
about this,
Yeah.
before we're talking about Johnny Evans, Johnny Evans and his penalty.
Yeah. I actually wouldn't mind Luke Shaw on the bench as a center back option.
Honestly speaking,
Yeah.
I think because he
As
played
like
left side really nicely.
exactly. He's
right?
left footed.
So
He could be like the Lissandro Martinez kind of deputy.
yeah,
He could do
exactly.
it well too. Yeah,
With the Delo overlap, killer, bro. That's game
yeah.
on.
So he
That's
could
so
make it
like that.
happen.
That
Yeah.
could work. But again, this kind of rotation just comes down to the manager. And we're gonna talk
Mhm.
about managers in a little bit. But let's talk about some other teams that are maybe not doing too well in the transfer market. Chelsea. Oh my days.
Shout out
I
to
think
Godwin and Gunyai.
no, honestly speaking, shout out to our boys going on Grunei, devout Chelsea fans who we love to tease, and shout out to all of you who may be Chelsea fans. Let
Yeah,
us know how you
yeah.
feel about the transfer win in the comments. But
Hmm.
I believe there is something like too much, and I think Chelsea is overdoing it. What
Okay.
confuses me is I don't know why players are considering to go to Chelsea.
That's the big question. That's what
I
I've been
don't know.
wondering.
Yeah, like why? What are you
Yeah.
looking for there? Because
'Cause I can see the Chelsea perspective from the business perspective. I mean, the long contracts and
yeah,
everything,
fact,
the
fact.
financial maneuvering they're doing. I mean, the guy is like an
Mhm,
American businessman. I mean, this is what Americans are known to do, right?
mhm.
Financial maneuvering. um, but for me, that was the big question. Like, I'm Pedro
Mhm,
Neto. I know Chelsea have Mudrik. I know Chelsea have Madueke. I know they have
mhm,
Sterling, Armando
mhm,
Broja,
mhm,
Cole Palmer. They have
mhm.
Nkunku.
Bro,
Wait, I know all of this,
I
and
found
yet
João Felix now.
they just got Jao Felix. So I know all of this, and I still decide that when they come to sign me, I say yes. I'm just
Right?
kind of trying to
Like
see
it
like the
doesn't make
thought
sense.
process behind it. I
It
don't
doesn't
know if
make
it's
sense.
like the contracts they are being offered, like
Mm-hmm.
because I can't see it, right? Because I don't want to criticize too much the board for the signings, because I mean, on paper, these are like fantastic players.
Ball out.
So they're getting, the best potential talent. I mean, you have
Mm-hmm.
Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Romeo Lavia. These are like people that, we all expect to be like some of the best in the world. So on paper, I kind of understand what they're doing. They're signing the best potential talent out there faster than
Mm-hmm.
everyone else. It makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just for now, and the team and even the coach, the decisions the coach has to make. I mean, who do you start? Bro, those
Because
guys have like a million goalkeepers.
and you start to wonder why. Like, what's the point? What's the point? And these are valid questions, bro. Like you brought up, specifically in Kunku now, because Kunku has to thrive in the middle. But Cole
Yep.
Palmer just came up for a brilliant season. You
Yep.
can't bench Cole Palmer. And there's Sterling, who's also getting pressed for not playing. You saw the
Exactly.
statement they're trying to make.
Yep.
That's a result of this. Because now Neto has to play because you just signed the man. And then
Exactly.
out of all that, they're trying to sign Osimhen as well. Because they do need a striker, let's be honest. They need a striker.
Jackson
Then
ain't
you
it.
also Jackson ain't it. Then you also have the midfield issue because you have Enzo, Lavia, Caicedo. But out of all those, Enzo used to like go through the middle a little bit. So where is he going to play? And then like it's just a mess, bro. I don't know.
It's
Chelsea
tough.
fans
It's
can
tough.
make me understand,
I
but
mean, I'm trying to take it easy on Chelsea fans because I'm like, these are good players,
mhm,
but it's also like, I just can't see what they do this season. I mean, they have so much attacking talent. They should be
mhm,
cooking, but it's also like, there's so much work to be done. The balance. I mean, the guy played Enzo as a 10. I mean, what
mhm,
the hell?
mhm.
Enzo is not a 10, please. I mean, he's good when he's like orchestrating from behind, kind of
Yeah.
like the way he plays for Argentina. He drops deep, picks the ball,
Mhm,
finds passes, long ball passes, stuff like that. You know
mhm,
what I'm saying? So I didn't get that whole vibe, especially when you have Nkuku or Palmer who can play in the 10, and then maybe
mhm.
you put like let Madueke play on the wing or even Neto start him right away. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of questions there. Maybe we invite Godwin and Gunyai to talk a little bit about it
Yeah.
time.
Honestly speaking, maybe they
Yeah,
can come and
but
help us to justify what's happening.
yeah.
So it's dire at Chelsea, and I think this could heavily affect their season, man. Desperately, there's no team chemistry that's going to be built between certain
True.
players, and on top of that, certain players who are brand new signings are going to be competing for playtime because part of their contract. They don't want to
Fact.
waste away. Then you have players who have put Chelsea on the map like Palmer, who are now becoming decision makers, right? Like at what point Cole Palmer has to play where he thrives the most, but that's competing with other players and different games require different
Hmm.
tactics. It's a confused mess, you know what I'm saying? On top
Yeah.
of the long contracts that they have. So this mess could potentially be here for the next 5 to 6 years if
It's a
players don't
problem.
waste away,
It's a
right?
problem.
And if they do waste away, Chelsea is at a loss because if you need to break the player contract and sell the player, Like that's a loss for you. So I just don't see how they win here. I just don't see how it
Yeah,
happens.
no, but shout out to them though, because I
No,
mean
shout
they
out to
did
them.
okay.
Hey, look, you and
Let's
I are
not,
not
let's
football
not.
executives.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, maybe they know something we don't know. So
Maybe they do.
shout out. They're the only one who know what they know, Charlie.
At some
Yeah,
point, because
but
you have
let's
teams
see
like
though.
Liverpool who haven't made any signings, on like on the flip side of that, and arguably, I think Liverpool will have a better season than Chelsea for sure. I don't see how Chelsea has a unless something miraculous happens, bro. I just don't see how Chelsea has a better
Yeah,
season than Liverpool. So again, shout out to Chelsea, man, for their signings. But hey, I think we should talk about the signing, in Mbappe. Right, the signing, the most anticipated since what 2022, honestly.
bro.
And
Maybe since
bro,
he was a child safe, Charlie.
if I'm being honest,
Project Zimbabwe,
no,
man has like Real Madrid pictures in his bedroom. Met
bro,
Cristiano Ronaldo as 9. I mean,
mhm,
I don't know
mhm.
why PSG were trying to delay the whole process so much. In the end, they lost him on
They
a
never,
free.
hmm
On a
they never know
free
what
though.
happened. Fredo, they could have got 200 plus mil for that. But again, hey,
Tough.
maybe they know something we don't. What did you think about his debut? What did you think about his first game? And he won a trophy that first game anyway. So
Yeah, yeah, the
yeah,
Super Cup. I mean, he was okay. He was
mhm,
decent.
yeah, scored.
Second game with Mallorca was interesting. I think that
Yeah.
has, a lot of people are talking about, Madrid, the balance and everything, but I think that game had more to do with Mallorca. Mallorca was surprised. I actually watched that game. Mallorca was
Mhm,
surprising more than, okay, it's been like, okay, Real Madrid were terrible. It's like Mallorca were
yeah.
actually really good, very
Mhm,
good, quick on transition. They were exploiting
mhm,
the spaces that Madrid always will have. Madrid is that team. They don't like the
mhm,
ball too much. They want to give it away sometimes just so they can
mhm.
be the transition team. And
Yeah.
Mallorca was kind of using that against them. So shout out to Mallorca. They played a really good game. In terms of Mbappe, I mean, of course, they're still trying to figure out the balance.
Mhm.
With him and Vinicius and Rodrigo, they
Yeah.
all don't like the right side of the pitch for some reason. They all want to be on the left side. Even Bellingham
Mhm,
wants to play on the left side of midfield.
mhm,
Vinicius is on the left. If you see the goal, Rodrigo came
mhm,
all the way to the left. Bellingham
mhm,
was on the left. Mbappe was on the left. So and even in the second half when Ancelotti made changes, there's a part where he literally told Rodrigo, "Stay wide on the right." Like
mhm.
literally, you
No,
have to stay.
because that's facts. It's true.
So
Yeah. I think like I'll just like um really reiterate what you're saying. I think that's true. Could be a different environment, maybe different systems, different style.
true.
Again, La Liga is on a technicality a more perhaps difficult league than
What
the
used to
league
be, yep.
are, and or maybe he's just trying to get adjusted to the instructions he's being given. I'm still not particularly very clear on again how he fits properly. I remember you and I talked about this, about how it would be a very nice Rashford to PSG, Mbappe
Yeah.
to Madrid, then Vinicius to us. United, and hey, maybe at some point in time, you never know, that could
Yeah.
happen. But again, hey, Don Carlo knows what he's doing, so we'll just leave it at that.
We'll
We'll
just
just
leave
leave it
it.
at that. You still number 16 incoming. You still number 16. We'll see how it goes for sure. Yeah. And speaking about managers and Don Carlo, I think this is a good time to get into the whole Unai Emery Arteta conversation
Mm,
what has been circulating around social media, which is kind of peculiar because, again, there's talks about who is the best manager, if I'm not mistaken, right now in the Prem. Now that after Pep, now that Klopp has left,
yep.
and many people, Arsenal fans, are arguing that it's Arteta, but many other people are saying, why isn't it Unai Emery? So where do you stand in that debate?
I even have a very wild take.
talk
Wild
to
take.
us. Talk
Okay,
to us.
first of
Yeah.
all, yeah, Ateta nowhere near Unai Emery. Let me just get that clear.
Yeah. True.
A lot of Arsenal fans, their argument is, well, Unai Emery was an Arsenal coach and didn't really do
Mm-hmm.
anything for Arsenal. I mean, it was a mess when he left.
Mm-hmm.
My kickback to that is, after Unai Emery left, Arsenal literally changed their whole footballing structure, like the way Manchester United is changing their structure now, right? So Ateta came into like a reorganized Arsenal that wanted to
Mm-hmm.
focus on the team, the players, and everything, and they gave the man time. They gave him
Mm-hmm.
time. The
Did.
man finished eighth in his first half season. In his
Mm-hmm.
first full season, he finished eighth again. In his third season, which technically is his second full season, he finished fifth. You get what I'm
So
saying? So who is to say that if Unai Emery also got 5 years under Arsenal, he probably wins a trophy. He probably wins the Premier League. Who is to say that that doesn't happen, right? He was sacked, I think,
mhm,
after like 2 or 3 seasons or something like that. So
mhm,
we can't really say because Unai Emery was the Arsenal coach or whatever. He wasn't backed as much as Arteta was backed, right?
yeah.
So I want to throw out that debate. I mean, Unai Emery is like European level pedigree. So let's not even
True.
get into that. I mean, the
I
man
mean,
has
he does have a European trophy. He
four
has a U,
European trophies. You know what I'm
of
saying?
course.
And
Yeah.
if you even want to talk about the work they've done in the Premier League right now, like in the past two
Mhm,
seasons, I mean,
mhm,
one took Arsenal, which is supposed to be like an European powerhouse. Let me not even say
mhm.
European because they don't have an European trophy to show for it, but
They
like
go.
the Premier League
Mhm,
powerhouse, the
mhm,
Invincibles, one took
mhm.
them to, from being an eighth position team to being like a title contender. He's
Mhm,
being celebrated for that. Rightly so. I think Arteta is a great manager. But let's
mhm.
not forget, my guy also took Aston Villa. Oh. Ale, from like 15th. You know what I'm saying? From like 15th, man.
Yeah,
And he's taking them
yeah.
to Europe. And
Mhm,
when these two guys met again, Aston Villa against
mhm.
Arsenal, he cooked them twice.
Cooked.
He's the reason why my guy didn't win the league. So I don't know how you could think Arteta is better than Unai Emery. So that one, let's just throw it out because he's not at all.
Mhm.
Maybe he could
No.
get there. Maybe we don't know, right?
Mhm,
But I don't think the fact that he has, competed with City 2 seasons in a row, all of a sudden makes him fantastic manager. Ole also finished second. Does that make Ole
mhm.
a great manager? Shout out to Ole. I'm not saying Ole
Shout
is bad, by the way.
shout to Ole, wherever he
um,
is.
so yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, for me, I mean, I love Arsenal. I love Arsenal fans. Shout out to Natty.
Mhm.
Shout out to Mr. Kimani as
And
well.
just
But
yeah, shout
yeah,
to
I just don't think Arteta is better than Unai Emery. No way. I mean, because we don't know. Again, like I'm saying, if Unai Emery gets the same, inherits the same Arsenal squad, oh my God, they probably win the Champions
cookery,
League. You
cookery,
don't know,
cookery,
right?
cookery.
So that's my
Mhm.
thing. Um, but the wild take I had was, I am even
Talk to
willing
me.
to argue that
Hey, talk to me.
Erik Ten Hag, Erik Ten Hag
Erik Ten
might
Hag
be
is a
a better
better manager.
manager than Arteta.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
first of all, before he came into the Premier League,
Mhm,
he was one of the hottest managers out there, right? Ajax
mhm,
won
mhm,
everything at Ajax except
mhm,
the Champions League, which it's
mhm.
Ajax, right? He
Yeah.
basically was playing with kids, but we also can't forget that
Mhm,
famous, I think, semi-final or whatever, where they beat Real
mhm.
Madrid with kids,
Yeah.
19-year-old
Okay.
kids, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
before Ten Hag was
Mhm.
coming, he was like one of the
He
hottest
was,
managers on
he
the
was up there. He was up there.
exactly.
Mhm,
And then again, he came into Manchester United. This is like a struggling Manchester United with all the issues we've had and everything. Even amidst
mhm.
all the issues, the Ronaldo issue, the Sancho, the Rashford, all of that. First season, he finished third and
Right?
won a trophy in his first season.
Mhm.
Now, let's compare that to Arteta's first full season. First full season, right? Arteta finished eighth. He finished eighth with like 62, 63 points. So he finished,
Mhm,
that's his first
mhm.
full season. That's eighth, right?
Yeah.
I
Mhm,
mean, Ten Hag killed him because Ten Hag's first season, third,
mhm.
qualified for the Champions League, won the Carabao Cup. Arteta rightly also won the Arteta actually won the FA Cup his half
Mhm.
season before the first full season. So he won it not with his squad, he won it with the Obama Yangs and thems.
Mhm.
So we can't
Oh,
even
them.
count it.
I
Exactly.
get yeah.
And then Arteta's second season, he finished fifth, not fifth, right? Ten
Mhm,
Hag's second season, he finished eighth, which is terrible
mhm.
and whatever. But if you compare
Yeah.
their first 2 seasons, who has done better?
I
Obviously,
mean,
it's
come
Ten
on.
Hag. One
Silverware
finished
still
third and
man.
eighth, one finished
Mhm.
eighth and fifth. Which one is better? Charlie. So who is to say that by Ten Hag's fourth season, which is
Mhm,
Arteta's fourth season, who is to say by Ten Hag's fourth season? I mean, looking at the trajectory, I'm just saying one
mhm,
has won 2 trophies in 2 years. One has won one
mhm.
trophy in 5 years. I'm just saying. Looking at the trajectory, who is to say Ten Hag
Mhm.
won't be a better manager, right? So I'm gonna leave it here. Let people engage in the comments. Let us know what they think. But that's my take. I even think Ten Hag is a better manager than Arteta. That's all.
No, I hear that. I hear that. I think it becomes a very wild take because we made it very clear that we're United fans. But I think some fans who don't support United or Arsenal can let us know in the comments. Let us know what they think. I
Exactly.
think that's not a wild. It's not, I don't think it's a wild take. Purely based on statistics and numbers. I don't think it's a wild take. And then we can, predict the trajectory and see that when Arteta was where, so when Ten Hag was where Arteta was, he was doing better, and
Yep.
now he has more resources. The restructuring that Arteta got, better players. Who's to say he can't even do better quicker? So I'll leave it at that. Honestly
Yeah.
speaking, I think you cleared the argument proper, man. I just don't see how Arteta is, a better manager than Unai Emery, and I can see how he wouldn't be a better one than Ten Hag, honestly speaking. And if we're being honest, again, it's just because Arteta has come close to City. There's no solid achievement. He's come
Nothing.
close to,
My guy
and
has finished
City are
second twice.
right, exactly. And
Second
him
twice.
and us, same WhatsApp group. We both qualified for this sale, and we took a trophy to it. So at the end of the day, bro, there's no big differentiator, man. If we're being honest, so
Yep.
shout out to Ten Hag, shout out to Arteta, man. Shout out to Arsenal fans. I know you believe in your manager, but we need to pipe it down a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. I just need to, because again, give Arteta the squad Ten Hag inherited with the
We
problems he
don't know.
inherited.
And
We
also, I'm
don't
just
know.
putting it out there. Coaching Manchester United is a way different deal than coaching Arsenal. I'm just saying.
It is. It is. It's harder. It's harder to coach
Exactly. So,
United, especially in this day and age post Fergie. It is.
bro.
It's more difficult.
So
And that could be that could be another debate we can have in another
it's a
episode.
debate.
If you guys
Exactly.
want to see that, let us know. But I think coaching United may argue be one of the hardest jobs in all of football. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Across the
Hmm.
world. So, I mean, hey, that's our reaction to the transfer news though. If you guys want to hear about anything else, let us know.
Yep.
And we'll keep following the transfer window as it progresses. Shout out to our boy Fabrizio. Maybe one day we'll have him on here as well. But until then,
Yes, sir.
until then, we'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take care. Peace.